Hello people from your top, Zadarkus here with another Bronze to Diamond episode. Today I will talk about the game phases. Before moving to advanced tips or gameplay mechanics, I believe it is vital to break down the game into the phases that are played. In every war or sport, the players know the rules of the game and how it should be played out. When a soldier or a player doesn't know what he should be doing and what the rules are, success will become harder to reach and chaos will be on his tail. Giving you an extreme example, imagine a football match where the goalkeeper goes playing with the strikers on the front line trying to score a goal and leaves his goal open. We all can imagine how that would go, right? League of Legends isn't that different from any other sport. There is a way to play it, something that we mostly call the meta. And by default, it works, and it works for a reason. Therefore, we should try to follow it without being blind worshippers. Without losing more time, let me get right to the point and talk a little bit about the game phases. Further in the series, I will do a video with in-depth explanations for each phase. For now, I just want to build a solid ground for everyone to start off, as I see no point on telling you how to build a roof when you or someone else watching may not even know how to build up the walls. There are 5 main phases, being these the pre-game phase, the early game, the mid-game, the late game and the long game. The early game, also known as the laning phase, and the long game, also known as the closing phase. Now let's move on to each one and have a fast understanding on what they are made of. Now the first one is the pre-game phase. You have 3 different aspects of this: the champion selection, the loading screen and the positioning phase. In the champion selection, you should figure out your team composition, determine each player role and responsibility within the team. Also, smart think your bans and try to counterpick if possible. In the loading screen, you should try to analyze as much as possible your team and the enemy team. See the physical and magic damage ratios, the targets that you want to focus or your team should to focus, the enemy summoner spells, who to be careful with, what lane to shut down, and any other important aspect you may find. In the positioning phase, the first 2 minutes of the game, you should use this to prepare jungle ganks or defenses, determine laning roles, scout out for the enemy and pre-war the jungle. After all these 3 aspects of the pregame phase, we move to the actual real action and gameplay, the laning phase. Now the early laning phase, also known as the early game, is divided into 2 major phases, the lane lock and the gank phase. The lane lock occurs between the level 1 and 3, in which during these levels every champion should remain in their respective lane except to defend the jungler in case of an early invade. The responsibilities in order of importance in this phase are: defend the jungle if invaded, ward your jungle entrance, farm the minions, harass or kill the enemy champions. While the gank phase lasts for the rest of the laning phase. During the gank phase, every lane has their own responsibilities to follow. Top lane should defend mid lane, defend top jungle, farm and gank other lanes. The middle should defend bot jungles, defend and take dragon, defend or gank either one of the other 2 lanes and farm. The bottom lane should defend bottom jungle, defend or take dragon and of course farm. The jungler should gank lanes, defend ganked lanes, defend or take dragon, invade the enemy jungle or clear the jungle camps. Note that the bottom lane is the only one that shouldn't gank or roam as much, but they should absolutely have control over dragon. Top should only gank when success is clear, as leaving his lane is easily punishable. Middle should gank whenever it is possible, as the lane clearing and backup defending is easy, while the opponent middle tower destroying potential is usually limited. Warding is a team effort in this phase. In the laning phase, There are 4 entrances to the jungle and all 4 entrances should be warded. The top entrance by the top laner, the bot entrance by the bot laners, and the 2 entrances in the mid lane by the jungler and the mid laner. After that we move to the mid game, which starts either when the first turret goes down or when you reach level 9. The mid game is characterized by team fights and roaming in packs of 3 or 5 champions. The lane structure generally falls away and the roles get shifted. Nobody should wander through uncontrolled territory alone, and even in groups caution should be taken. There are some rules you should try to follow to achieve a higher success. To push towers, you should be in a group of 3 to 5 champions. Now you should have 1 team member for every enemy team member that is added. To defend your tower, you should be between 3 to 5 champions, equal to the enemy team number of champions attacking. To take or defend the dragon, you should be between 4 to 5 members, equal or greater to the enemy team. To take or defend Baron, it is a full team effort, all 5 should be there. To invade the enemy jungle, normally a party of 2 to 4 players should do it, but try to do it only when it's safe and generally keep the 5th element in a lane to divert attention. To clear wave, you should be 1 or 2 champions maximum, knowing that we are talking about a champion that is a support, and only clear and allow to push, then return to your team. To clear the jungle, 1 champion suffices. When clearing waves, priority at this point should go to the AD carry, which is underleveled to the sharing of his lane, and of course to the mid lane champion as well. The support should never clear a wave alone, as support clearing power is very low, and support doesn't really need the farm. It should be safer for a single person to farm, assuming that the wards are in the place they needed to be. Warding in the middle game is still a team effort, and there should be assigned spots that everyone should know they have to ward, and some key spots are Baron, Drake, and the enemy jungle entrances if you are more offensive, or your jungle entrance if you are playing more defensive. But about warding I will do another video as well. After that we move to the late game, that can start either when the inner middle tower goes down, someone reaches level 13, or the Baron is taken. The late game is characterized by rigid team structures and positioning, and a burst of team clashes. Gameplay will alternate between pushes and team fights and spreading the farming. No champion should ever be out alone at this point. The rules for the activities are as follow. To push or defend the tower, you should be a 5-man party. To take the Drake, a 2 to 5-man party depending on the defensive enemy composition on the Drake. To defend the dragon, a 5-man job. To take or defend Baron, a 5-man job as well. To clear waves, 1 man should suffice. To clear the jungle, 1 man as well. To arrest the tower, 3 to 5 champions depending on the defensive of the enemy team, and to backdoor 1 champion alone. During pushes or objective captures, the whole team must be together. If 1 person is off farming when a team fight occurs, then the whole game can be lost. Thus it is important not to initiate until the whole team is both together and properly positioned. Between team fights, the team should scatter to clear waves and jungle camps, or go home and buy quickly. No champion should linger anywhere unless the whole team is present. This means go to a lane, clear the wave, then come back to the team. Don't push with the wave and don't sit there and farm. When it comes to backdooring, where a strong solo champion attacks a turret on his own, this should only occur while both teams are engaging in a arrest. While arresting, the rest of the team can also quickly clear waves or jungle camps if possible. After that we move to the long game that starts normally when champions hit level 17 or 18 and start finishing their builds. Not every game reaches the long phase. The long phase is characterized by equalization of team regardless of which team was winning previously. In the long game on team fight, one single team fight can decide the game, and turrets won't put up much resistances. So you should be really careful in the long game phase about team fights, since the respawn timers are really long and one ace can end the game. Warding in the long game should be mainly executed by the support champion. Gladly we have trinkets, so guys, please help the support. Other than that, you should always be careful. Try to not wander around alone and roam. Remember that I will do a video with in-depth explanations for each phase. I will also do videos for each lane and how you should ward. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a lot of theory. I think that's how you say it. It was a lot of theory, but I hope I made it entertaining enough for you guys. Remember to subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed. If you want to watch more videos, of course, leave a comment, give it a like if you liked it. You may consider in the Patreon application, which the link is in the description, and any other links for social medias as well in the descriptions. Sharing with your friends will also help out a lot. But as always, this video was made for you. Be awesome, stay awesome. My name is Zadarkus, and I'll see you in the next one.